Here's a few things to check if your heat won't turn on before giving us a call. So first and foremost, if your heat's not turning on, check your thermostat, make sure it's on heat, make sure it's turned up a few degrees higher than the room temperature reading. Then once you check your thermostat and make sure it's calling for heat, I want you to go down to the furnace, and typically on newer furnaces they have eyeglasses on the bottom door, and that's going to show you if it has power, if there's a light flashing inside that eyeglass. Typically there's like a heartbeat for normal operations, or it could be throwing a code. If it's throwing a code, you're going to want to reference the code list on the furnace, but really we just want to make sure it has power. So if it doesn't have power, then you're going to want to check the switch on the side of the furnace as well as the switch in your breaker panel to make sure there's electricity. If the furnace doesn't have power, it can't operate. So once you've checked your thermostat, made sure it was working, make sure it had batteries and it's on the right mode, then you're going to check your furnace to make sure it has power, it's getting power from the switch and from the breaker panel. And then finally, I'm going to want you to check your filter. If your filter gets really dirty and your furnace is running heat for a long time, it can trip on high limit and shut itself down, and then it can go into a lockout mode if that keeps happening. So the three things I want you to check are your thermostat, make sure it has batteries, make sure it has power, and make sure it's calling for heat. Check your furnace to make sure it has power, typically through the eyeglass of the window, and then you can check your breaker panel as well and check your furnace filter. If you don't find anything wrong with those, give us a call at Stay Cool Climate Control and we'd be happy to get you up and running.